Of the 300 and something thousand police that we have, I can tell you, more than 60% of those policemen are guarding politically exposed people, individuals, including Yahoo boys. If you can afford it, just pay. And then the rest are left to guard 200 million people. So without lapses, what now happens is communities create, these vigilantes to provide security on their behalf. And the challenge here is that because these vigilantes are not trained, some of them are hunters, and so they are not trained, and so they resort to this kind of self-help. We're discussing Edo now. You can't travel. I used to go to Owerri a lot, but now I can no longer travel to Owerri, even flying to Owerri. I can't go. I don't speak Igbo. I love the place. It used to be very quiet. But since the death of Gulak on that airport road. It used to be bubbly too. Exactly, it used to be bubbly. But go to Owerri now, the hotels are dry. Even people from that state cannot go to their villages. And from recently, I went to, sometimes some years back, I used to love traveling from Kano to Kazaure, to Daura, then Katsina. But today, recently, just last week, there were kidnappings and killings on that road. So it is everywhere in Nigeria. So it is not just Edo State. Let's declare a state of emergency on security generally.
God go bless you, Oshoma. Please, this video deserves a like, a share. Share this video and comment your opinion in the comment section.
In Nigeria, and then sit down, have a holistic conversation about it. And then the issue of light arms. Yeah. Legally, it is police that are empowered to license, owners of light arms. But with the proliferation of arms, and then in some cases, you see headsmen carrying AK-47, and they tell you because people are attacking their cows. So let's also look at this idea of ranching. It's a business. You can't use your business to spoil mine. You're using your cattle to, move through people's farm. And some of them also have accused the village community leaders that anywhere you see them stay beyond 1 month, they settle community leaders. So this is where the state government also now begins to question some of these community leaders. And before, we're traveling to the village, you travel between that Benin Auchi road, you can travel at any time. But now, for the past 15, 20 years, 15 years to this time has been terrible. Very, very terrible. That if there are no military and the police on that road, you dare not travel. That is so bad that police will tell you, please, don't enter that road before 9. And once it is 4, stay at home.
So would you say there's like a selective response to insecurity
in
Nigeria?
Exactly. What the federal government is doing is a selective response. When it happens in your state, as a governor, you are left at the mercy of the local that you have, like Edo State governor. For me, I feel for him. He's helpless. He's helpless. You train your local vigilante, after donating vehicles to the police, they bought vehicles, and that's all you can do, donate vehicles to the police. And at the end of the day, it is the federal government that will empower them with arms and will decide who to post to where. So if you are lucky, they post many men to your place. How many of these police stations can actually respond? Imagine, let's assume now that with those numbers of people, and they are carrying not just Dane guns and their other arms, maybe confiscated, concealed, and then they attack a community like Uromi. What's the number of the policemen in Uromi that will respond to such an attack? 0. Because the few that you have are already guarding all the big men, rich men everywhere. So with that kind of challenge, a governor is at the mercy of the federal government. You remember Jonah Jang those days? Said, I called the commander at 2 a.m. He didn't respond. So in this case, it is the same thing. That's why you see government are empowering hunters, they're empowering local vigilantes, creating vigilantes, training them. It is the same police and the military that will still come and train these vigilantes.
What sort of training do they
So why are we running away from having the conversation about local security when it is the same police that will train the vigilantes and you buy local gun, licenses by the same police to give to them to provide security because the police is overwhelmed. They can't provide this security.
But you've spoken extensively about the vigilante that has been duly appointed to say, by the governors to take care of the state. But in this situation, we're looking at what the governor is calling illegal vigilante operatives. These people are illegal. So now, speaking to that illegality, where do they come from usually? Who empowers them? Where did they get these weapons? And also keeping in mind that for this type of incident to happen, they didn't just show up. They showed up. There was a crowd that gathered. The crowd, nobody stopped them from doing what they were doing. So there was some form of understanding within that area that this is who these people are, because they set up a station in that location where there are no police officers to say, you're not supposed to be here. So these people seem to be illegally empowered as well.
That's why the government is saying, these are illegal, we do not recognize them. Because before the election, if you remember, there was this local vigilante also recognized by the government, the previous administration, and then the IG suspended that vigilante in their entire state. And so, on allegation that they were trained for election and all of that, so many stories. And then this governor came on board and said, no, we need to restructure, we need to reorganize this structure. This entire, the law first and foremost was amended. And then they set up a local vigilante, those security corps.
Yes.
And so that security corps, they had command structures, command and control structure. And ordinarily, if these people were part of those that were trained, once it happens, the next thing would have been to radio the sector commander at the local government that would probably call for backup. And then maybe they'll move all of these people to their office for interrogation and investigation. But because of the challenges of security across the borders in the state, what some of the communities do, like in my community also, we do it. You see, some of us in the cities will contribute money to protect communities. So they empower their locals. My community had fought a communal clash. Till date, they are apprehensive that anything can happen. So they empowered locals, hunters, and youths in the village to act as vigilante. So these ones ordinarily are not recognized by the government.
What do they do when there's insecurity? What do these young people that...
So this, because they are not trained, what
they
do is what you're saying now.
What?
They take laws into their hands. And
Are
that's why the state government...
Dane guns as well? They have the Dane guns?
Yes. Just like hunters.
The community are aware of this.
Yes, the communities are aware. Just like
that
hunters
is the
in the
legality
community.
that I asked
That's
you
the
about. You have
illegality.
not answered that question.
That's the legality that the
about-
government is talking about, and that's why even the commander of the corps.
No, I'm talking about small arms.
Yes,
yes, go ahead.
So
Carrying
that's why the
small arms.
commander of the security corps is also suspended for failure to rein in all of this small illegal, because it's supposed to be his responsibility to do all of that. But sometimes you can be overwhelming. And so all of these light arms, where are they purchased from? That's the big question. Where are they purchased from? There are people who are supplying them. Sometimes some of them are retired policemen. And then when they are purchased, sometimes they go get license from the same police. So the police will know that yes, the license gone for some vigilante, but this vigilante do not have the connection, the nexus with the state government recognized operatives. So, but I think with this, what had happened now is now the state government is saying, look, you know what we have put on ground, we need to truly put our foot on ground and ensure that every vigilante, there is a command and control, that every incident must be duly, professionally handled. Okay. And once that happens, I think, and it is across board, not just in Edo, across board in every other state, and then we'll now take that discussion further. Certainly, we'll be able to solve the security challenges to a very large extent, because every security is local.
Let me build on that with two questions, Liberals. One will be the vigilante thing. What lessons can Edo State in particular, but of course the entire South in general, what lessons can they learn from Amotekun in the Southwest that involves all the governors there? And I believe Ebubeagu, which one was the one in the Southeast?
Ebubeagu, yes, Ebubeagu.
So that's one. The second part will be this hunters thing. I'm very concerned about what it means. Legally speaking, who is a hunter? Who is a local hunter in Nigeria? What law protects him? Yes. What law empowers him to do what he purports to be doing?
Ordinarily,
I hope you understand the importance of this question.
Yes, I understand. Ordinarily, if you look at the Forestry Act,
yes.
If you look at the Forestry Act, some of these people we call hunters are illegal operators.
Absolutely.
If you look at the Forestry Act, they do not have the business of going to, hunt animals, and there are areas that are designated ordinarily. But because of failure of governance, So I can wake up tomorrow, and if my father was, my grandparents were local hunters, and maybe I relocate to the village, or somebody out of nothing to do, just like estate agents, out of nothing to do, I get a day gun and I say, today I'm a hunter.
Yeah.
And then because of the overwhelming security challenges, what the police do now, go to Ogun State, they have Ashobon, they are local hunters. They collaborate with the police. They are recognized and registered by the police. So they know them. So sometimes they even use them to gather information, intelligence. So which is what the state government is also doing in Edo State. Because in these places, since you can't beat them, the what do you call it now? The structure, the compliance structure has completely collapsed. Those days we used to have forest guards.
Yes.
But today there are no more forest guards. So because the compliance structure has completely collapsed, anybody can be a hunter now, register with the local group. But so this also will be an opportunity for the state government to register. If you are a hunter, there should be procedures for registration.
Exactly.
There should be areas designated for hunting. And if the state government, if you are to provide security, I learned for the vigilante, they even donated Okada for them, because to assess some of these bushes where vehicles cannot access. So when you have control of everybody and you have a database for them, if anything happens, you know who to call immediately in any area. You call